No, that's what even I'm curious. Why languages? Language means for us is always words. But what is actually the language convey about is what we need to ask Asha ma'am today. And she is here.
Yes.
So, Asha ma'am, so what would you like to tell about languages? Why did you choose the topic, first of all, influence of language on people?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think in today's world, this particular topic matters a lot, and it is the need of the hour to understand why one word can make a life and break a life. So, before I get into the core of the topic, वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्धप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ. Vak and Artha, see, the speech and the meaning are two different things. They are you can separate that.
Correct.
The one who really in love with you, okay, might shout at you because they show that concern. Shouting doesn't mean that they hate you, right? Vak and Artha, person and the language, the words and the essence, the word and the meaning is like Shiva and Shakti. If you
Hmm.
speak consciously, if you bring your consciousness into your speech, I don't think you will be able to hurt anybody. Right? When
Correct.
Shiva is there in your speech, the energy that you transmit to another body or another mind will always be healthy. You will not be hurting them with your words because you will be watching your words.
Hmm.
Right?
Okay.
So when speech and meaning goes hand in hand, okay, there comes empathy. Empathy is all about understanding different languages of different people and helping and supporting another person to also understand the language that I like to speak.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Whenever I say, yeah, yeah,
So I would like to cut you here.
yeah.
When we are saying speech
Hmm.
and when we are saying essence, so do you see only words filled with letters, alphabets alone communicate the essence, or can language take any other form apart from alphabets?
Yes, language has five different forms. you know so the first form is the elemental form where you use your voice to survive, to get your food, to get your water, to get that compassion, and to make somebody that they belong, and also make yourself comfortable. So this is the basic thing for a human being to live. So when we flip our history pages also, language or the importance of language, we happen to see for in the survival state. I need to survive, I need to live, I need to exist. So I use this language to survive. So that we call it as the elemental stage of language. So there are kinds of language before we get into the forms, kinds of language like spoken language. There I use my voice. My tone matters. My pitch matters. The quality of word, the choice of word do matters. Right? So that we call it as spoken language. So there comes the grammar, there comes lot of things, and we make simple things complicated, all that happens. So then comes the written language. There are a lot of times we lose our logical entity while speaking, if you have observed.
Mm.
I just speak what comes to my mind. But when I put it on paper, my logical aspects of my mind will participate and I'll be conscious while using my language. That is why journaling is a therapeutic process. So that we call it as written language. So which will be either very specific, or if you are describing it, also certain logical part is seen that you will be able to express. Number three
Correct.
is the sign language. You don't use your voice, neither write, but make signs, facial expression. There are three people in the restaurant. I see two speaking with their eyes
Correct.
about the third person, right? So that is the sign language. The mudras. We are speaking about Bharata Muni's Natya Shastra. These are all sign languages that conveyed and promoted wellness to one's life. That is how Natya
Hmm.
Shastra was born. That
Hmm.
complementing all these languages together, it is like a beautiful pearl chain. You have spoken language, you have Sangeetam, okay, you have rhythm, and also you bring the movements into it. You bring the mudras, you bring the signs. So that's what we call it as the fourth aspect, the body language. How you move your body, how you carry yourself, how you
Hmm.
welcome people, how you give your smile, how you nod your head, how you accept things, right? Body
Hmm.
language. And then comes the symbolic language. You just write a symbol. That is how alphabets were born. Each sound, that's the difference between letter and an alphabet. Letter is just a symbol, it has no meaning. But when it associates with the sound, it becomes alphabet.
Hmm.
So this is the symbolic language. And then comes programming language. Why Sanskrit is a programming language? When you put the words together, one mantra can create amazing effect on your life. Shravana, Manana, Dhyana,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
programming language. It programs your brain. It programs the way you speak. Programs your pattern, your behavioral pattern, emotional pattern, right? And the artistic language, what you put it on canvas speaks a lot about the person. And the one who is looking at the art piece is understanding so much about themselves. They are seeing their own life. And finally, the pictorial language. The schema that you make inside the mind is your language. The moment you think of Asha, there is a picture in front of you, right? And this picture is formed by how Asha has conducted with you, how the relationship is being understood by Deepti. That is why if
Correct.
one person A exists, there are 1,000 people who can like this person A. At the same time, there are thousands of people who can hate this person A. Right?
Here I would
So,
like to add,
yeah.
when you're talking about mental schema, I recently had a client, a child, where he was unable to imagine. The art of
Mhm.
imagining where mental schema plays a huge role is absent because he was fed to think, you know, think like this, think like that. So he didn't have a own mental schema that could be formed without any reference.
Hmm.
So that form of language was actually limited in him. Our ancestors didn't travel, but they could describe a place as though they were there all their life. They added words to their imagination. They combined two languages, two kinds of languages, and we read it as literature today.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Now, when we see a caption, all our language, all our imagination is restricted to, word limit of 150 words or 50 words in a caption. Our
Correct.
imagination are also coming to that level.
Yeah. So when I speak about form of language, is one form that I explained is survival. The next form is energy. How do you send energy through your language? Various languages. Lot of times there is a lot of aggression in me. How do I send this aggression out? I'm really not happy with it. How do I send that energy? I have lot of choices to make. If I am using my language, if I can call you names, label you, yell at you, make nonsense gestures, that's how I am ignorant of using the prana or the energy that the language hold within me. I don't even know how to send this energy out. Yeah. So that is why there is a beautiful formula. What is an expression? It's been beautifully coded that internal state. So, internal state defines the quality of your thoughts and emotions plus mode of communication. Is that the gesture? Are you writing? Are you speaking? Are you making signs? How is your body language? If you bring Shiva into this, then prana called Shakti can complement it. If I am ignorant about this, that is why I told Deepti when you asked me about why this, I told this is very important. It is less spoken. And the
Correct.
third form of language and its expression is your mind language, which is the language that you think, which is the language that you emote. Lot of times I emote pictorially. I imagine my emotions as if a big sea is coming, it is swallowing me, kind of thing. Since my childhood, it is my language. It has no, theoretical language like a lot of people will tell my thinking language is Telugu, the emotional language is Kannada. So I cannot give it a name for my emotional language. Usually it is pictorial by nature. So have we decoded this, our mind language? How does this mind think and emote? That is the third form.
How
And the
do
fourth,
we,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
how do we understand our mind language here?
Okay. Whenever you are sad, what are you doing? How is your internal dialogues? You got disappointed one day. You are murmuring
Hmm.
something, blabbering something. Which is the language that you are comfortable doing? Ayo, this, you are doing that, but which is the language?
Ah,
Right? And I have a small kid at home, and the moment he see, Mr. Sunil, who is also one of the staff member, he picks up a language which is very unique. You cannot decode it. Yeah, he
gibberish.
cannot decode it. Yes, and you can only see that he is so excited to look at this person. But he will not stop speaking. He will be speaking only, he will understand what he is speaking. So, like that, we have our own internal language which operates your mind. There is a constant, there is a variable, okay, and there is an operator.
Yeah.
This is how the language, if you happen to be a Kannadiga, please read Bharatesha Vaibhava from Ratnakara Varni. Okay, so in Bharatesha Vaibhava, he has brought all these three things together. How people
Oh,
emote, how is their languages, how do you see your nation? Bharatesha Vaibhava. So do you see that as a Vaibhava or do you see through your language? You are allowed to express however way you want, you know, and it is not constant. When you are happy, you see happy things around. When you are not happy, you choose to see unhappy things around. The one who is crying, the one who is yelling, only these things are visible to you. He says there is a variable. Language is a variable. But you need to bring Shiva as a constant. And Shakti is the operator. Plus, minus, division, multiplication is your energy.
hmm. See, the
This
thing,
is
yeah,
expression. Yeah.
correct. So the thing is, as our mental health profession is based mostly on talk therapy and the
Yes.
languages. When we are unable to relate to the mind language, we just go by the words that are coming out of their mouth.
Yes. That is why this topic was very important. There might be a person who is literally going through depression but smiling and telling, I'm not at all happy, Deepti. This is my karma, what to do. I have
Yeah,
met
yeah,
people who laugh at their own stories, but
yeah.
literally they are going through such a trivial issues. And there might be a very small issue, and the person is making a big bucket out of it. Oh, I'm into depression. You don't know what you are going to. But when
Yeah.
you decode it, it may not be that much. So, expression is not limited to words. Vocabulary is something that we go by today. I have a fancy English, I can bring wonderful vocabulary, become a terrorist, you know, put every and beautify my language doesn't mean that I have skills to live. Life skills are
Yeah,
different from language skills,
correct.
right?
You know,
And
communication is not just the languages, it's communication is Shiva and Shakti conscious and how we are using that conscious of what energy you are
exactly.
creating around you. Maybe somewhere down the line we have lost both Shiva and Shakti. We are just sticking to the symbols, hence conflicts, because the kind of conflicts I see around is all just when we go by the words that are coming out of their mouth,
Yes.
not going by the intentions, not going by their conscious, not going by the people, because we are completely into the zone of social media where only words communicate,
Yes.
neither facial expressions or voice or emojis communicate, and
Yes.
they are limited.
Correct. So the fourth layer or the fourth form is the Vijnanamaya. Vijnanamaya is analyzation of your own talk. Okay, a lot of times it is regression process. I speak and then I analyze. Can we analyze, buy some time, delay in responding, and then speak? Right? So this often happens. I don't know, and also echoing is very important. That is what is Vijnanamaya. Bring science to your language. If your loved one is telling you something, it doesn't mean that they are literally telling you, targeting you, labeling you. Sit with them and echo. Is that what you meant? They'll tell you, no, Bapre, I did not mean this. Right?
Yes, they
So,
certainly work on assumptions.
yeah, language is science. Language is an art that has to be learned. It's a skill. It is, we are not born with it. We are only born to convey and express. But expression is a conscious process where we need to insulate our mind, body, and environment. So, Vijnana is very much important, science. And finally, language is created to be happy. Express, release, and be happy. Ditya will tell you a small incident recently when I had a reunion with my few of my friends. This is a simple thing that we have. We were chit chatting, and these two, very good in language. There was one word which was being pronounced in a very different way. We were all speaking about colors. We were all speaking about something because art therapy was something they were asking, and we were speaking. There was one word which was mispronounced by a lady. So the happiness and the joy of meeting together, seeing each other after 6, 7 years gone aside, and the complete conversation was opening the Google, owning the speaker, and showing them, see, I am right, this and that. Right? We have somewhere forgotten Anandamaya Kosha. Language is created to be happy, not to prove each other. Right? Your strength. Language has become weakness. I'm sorry to tell those, there are a lot of times I have seen my clients expressing when this person is there, I don't even speak because she doesn't understand. She'll go behind the grammar. She go behind the words used. And it becomes very tough for me to answer this lady. So I keep my mouth shut.
Yeah,
So
they work on
the
themselves.
intention of why the language was created and given the utmost prominence and the creative space in our beautiful environment is going under the carpet. Somewhere, counselors should be responsible in revoking that energy again into everybody's life.
Yeah, I think we need to bring, when we are talking about confidentiality, we need to also say that we are not judgmental about your words. We
Correct.
are only judgment. We never judge words. We only consider your emotions,
Correct.
as understand emotions. That I think we need to explicitly tell to our clients that it's okay to use certain words. in front, because sometimes we need to vent out, and when they are trying to vent out, when they put filters in the name of language,
Correct.
then what's the safe environment we are creating for them?
Correct. Correct. So
So, any questions from our audience? Anything at all you would like to know more, or you would like to express?
I think the kinds of language and the forms of language, and probably each one of them would have got engrossed in taking their own journey. Each one of us have our own journey, have our own mental schema about our life and people around us. So let us bring part two here, where we can receive lot of questions through their experiences, and that would be, fair to answer
So,
them.
this video will be uploaded on our page, so you can write all your questions on the comment section. We will be answering those comment section in our upcoming live session. Okay, because sometimes the nature of conflict is all about you said that, you said this, and said
Yes,
is all words, it's not did.
you
More
nailed
than
it.
did, said
Yes.
comes to the role. Like, you
Yes.
said this word, you used it, you used that sentence that was
How
not
can you
required.
speak like
Speak
this?
like
How
this.
can you speak?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
having said that, so uh, we will be looking forward for n number of questions from your end on this comment section of this video, and we will be addressing, because language is our nature. It is not a skill alone. It's also our nature, because it's what makes us human beings different from other mammals. Language is one thing that cannot be just trained. It is picked up. It's an emotion for all of us. Most of the political things are happening because of language issues. Think we should not forget that. Being sensitive towards it, we will seek languages as a source of strength rather than weakness. Okay, or a limitation. Thank you, Asha ma'am, for your time, and thank you, audience, for being part of this live session. We'll be looking forward for the questions from your end for the next session. Have a nice week ahead. Thank you
Thank
all.
you. Thank you.